It's about 5:30, and first note that it's not completely dark out yet, which is nice. Second, note that the snow is gone, pretty much. That's going to be about as far as it goes, because it is going to get colder. In fact, I believe it probably already is a little bit colder. But I mean, it's still well, for the next couple of days, it's going to be cold, and then supposedly there's going to be a long period where it's kind of like around freezing sort of thing. But if the issue was snow cover, that was not a snow cover, and there's no snow in the forecast, so that way to measure winter has failed. I'm just waking up. I've been up for a few minutes. What am I doing today? Same thing I did the last couple of days. I need to start off by catching back to where it was. I'm going to take a different approach with this. My paranoia aside, I think that the cause of the problem is likely trying to transfer over live links into the Word document, and it's no doubt got something to do with the way that Word interprets links. So instead of copying things directly into the Word document, what I'll do is I'll move them over into a text file first, and then I'll copy them in from there. It's probably what I should have done in the first place. I know that that's what I was doing when I was moving things off of the... see, this is old Facebook, and old Facebook was before they introduced all of these strange characters into the... I'll show you this when it comes up, but whenever I type something into Facebook, I get all these weird characters. It looks like a virus or something, but except it happens on all the different machines. It happens on clean reinstalls. It happens on different browsers. It's the script in the site, and in fact, I think it probably is a keylogger, but it's a keylogger that's running in the JavaScript of the site, which is just another reason to stop using it, right? So, but I mean, it was that they clicked in like 2014 or something. So when I'm taking the stuff out from 2012, it's not there. But I mean, ultimately, I think that that's what's happening. Is I'm trying to copy some link tracking thing, and then that's interacting with the Word link tracking thing, and it's getting fucked up in the memory. And the solution is to transfer everything to plain text before you move it over, kind of thing. So I'll have to do that. Although I'm going to check to see again, and if I have reason to think that somebody's messing with my file here, you mess with my files. You don't want to be messing with my files, motherfucker. Then I will have to take proper actions, which will no doubt be comical. Anyways. So yeah, that's it. Nothing really particularly exciting. Again, I've been doing this long enough that the days have caught up to me. So I'm gonna need to edit and upload a few more vlogs. It is now a week at about this time since I had my last loose cigarette. Although I blazed for a few more days. There were no more actual cigarettes taken at this point a week ago from today. So it's a psychological milestone more than anything else, but it is one. And it's just little bits and pieces of what I'm doing. How am I feeling? I actually got kind of grouchy last night, but I think it was from the situation more than anything else. And then I kind of started nicking a little, but it was just kind of like, no. It's not even in the bounds of possibilities. It's not even a question that can be asked. It's not like that. It's not even. This is not a solution to even be contemplated. It is outside of the realm of possibility. This will simply not occur, and I've kind of held to that more or less. Entirely. See, I'm still scatterbrained. Although I haven't had my coffee yet today either, so that could have something to do with it. I don't know. What I know is that I'm gonna stop rambling. I must say though that I would like to figure out what's up with these lights because they have been working properly for the last several days, and that's a big change. Um, it's this one here that was out forever. So why is it that they both come on now? Like regularly, every time I flip a switch, both of the lights turn on. Why is that? What is it that changed that allows that to happen? Um, the computer in the living room is still on. Stereo equipment's still on. Um, I guess I moved all the equipment out of here, um, but it wasn't in here. Anyways, when I first started this, all of the stuff was out of here. So, um, I don't know. One thing that has changed is that this computer has been off for several days. So, um, that's something that I'll want to see. When I turn this computer back on, um, and geez, there's a big difference in temperature walking in here. Yeah, that's why I've got the door closed. Okay. Well, one of the reasons I have the door closed. When I turn that machine back on, does that affect the lights? If it does, then I'm left to conclude that I do have interference with the lights, um, and that might have something to do with it. If it doesn't, then something else has changed. We did get some snow. The temperature went down. Could that have? Could we have had maybe a little bit of maintenance on the lines? It's the new year. Are there things they do on a yearly basis? Did I just have to wait until that happened, etc.? I don't know, but I know that's very curious to me, at the very least. And I think it is probably reflective of something that's changed. And I think that keeping an eye on that is probably a good way to get a better understanding of where the source of the interference in the region is, and whether or not it can be fixed or perhaps has actually subsided. I haven't been in the other room since that happened, and so I don't know if there's actually a cause and effect, or if that I should take that as a signal that whatever was screwing me over in the other room has subsided. It's nice to have the light at least. That's a positive. So it's a bit before 10, and I'm caught up, so it didn't take all day, just took a few hours. But I am going to make that difference. Going through the file and seeing what the differences were, it seemed to be entire. The missing pieces seem to be entirely related to those police officers that I was talking about from the Occupy period. I've done a few things that might throw them off a little bit, but like I say, I'm going to check to see. It's backed up in a nice safe spot. I won't update it again until I'm back off the internet, kind of thing. But I, at this point, am unclear. Let's put it like that, as to whether the issue is one with links tracking across and Word basically misbehaving as a consequence of it, or if I'm getting some kind of an injection attack. There really isn't a good reason why random people would be able to get across my network and over my router. Um, it's not exactly a brand new router, but I should well, I guess I can check to see. Um, that's something I can do. But I mean, it has I mean, it's not going to stop, an intelligence agency from getting in or anything, but it should be enough to deter random idiots. So I'm left to the conclusion that this probably isn't a consequence of random idiots, and my suspicions that these people were police officers is just further cemented. Um, why I don't know why specifically they don't want to remove that information, other than to try to cover up their own tracks. Like I say, I wouldn't use their real name if they asked me to. I don't want their real name um, when I use it there. Even if, I mean, those aren't their real names, but even if they were their real names, I wouldn't use them because I don't. I mean, it's my vlog. It's about me. It's not about you. You know, like, don't flatter yourself, kind of thing. I don't really care what your perspective is. And when I put this up, this isn't about what your perspective is. It's about what my perspective is. It's an entirely individual. It's entirely an act of individualism and narcissism in a very broad sense. The only time I'm going to be posting other people's arguments through the use of a pseudonym, and I'll make sure the pseudonym is static at least, so that people know that this is a character in the in the production I'm producing around myself, is if it's some kind of foil. The reality is that most of what's in that document, and I mean, I'm just grabbing things and I'm throwing it in. I'm not really analyzing it or looking at it. Most of that information is never going to end up published anywhere, because it's mostly just nonsense. The only time I'm ever going to publish anybody's commentary is if it's a useful foil to something that I'm saying, and in the sense of a Socratic dialogue. If it's just somebody talking about, like rock music or something, that's of no value, and that will be deleted because it's worthless. And the little bit of that will, like I say, I wouldn't use your real name I wouldn't use the fake name that you gave me if you asked me, because I don't want you in my story. No, let's be clear. I do not want you in my story. Is that understood? I don't want you in my story. At the very most, I will use a caricature of you as a foil to my own perspectives. But I do not want you. I don't want you in my story. So don't flatter yourself and fuck off. I forgot to take a shot of myself making a salami sandwich yesterday. I'll make a tomato sandwich today. I did this once in the vlogs, but I didn't split them off, and I'm going to put them in their proper places. So I'm maybe redoing a little bit of material, but it's pretty minimal. What I do want to talk about is this. This is the what I'm going to call the split chip bowl. Now, the way this works is this. You need a big bowl. And actually, I bought this bowl specifically for this purpose. You need a sour substitute, which could be dill pickle, salt and vinegar, or perhaps even ketchup in a bind. And you need a cheesy substitute. And the way this works is you put them together in a bowl. And this is dill pickle and zesty cheese Doritos. You put them together in a bowl like this, and then you eat them together. So you pick them up. This is one on one, and then you have them at the same time, like an hors d'oeuvre kind of thing. And the result that you get is both sour and cheesy at the same time, which is a very pleasant juxtaposition together in your mouth. I might even argue that it's like a party in your mouth. Do it again. Oh, that didn't work out. That didn't get the shallow one there. Okay, so again, now I initially stumbled upon this. I'm gonna take another bite. So I'm not wearing pants, so you don't get to see me right now. Not wearing pants means I haven't totally woken up yet. I think I mentioned that I got through updating the file. How can I put this? I checked some attack vectors. Really, I guess I was checking my IP log on my router, and I'm getting kind of, you don't want to check your IP log on your router. You'll drive yourself crazy. What do you mean I'm getting hits from Bulgaria? It's just how the internet is. There's information flying around all over the place. If you've got a wall up there that drops the packets, it's about the best you can do. Besides sending a beam of particles across the world there, which, hey, some people might consider a good idea in the near term future. I can tell you I got a question if it's not a good idea. I see these attempts to get at me through port 43,272 or something ridiculous. I'd like to just push a button and just zap that person, just it's like a beam of energy that would just zap the person from the ground up, sort of thing. Such a thing would probably be abused. But I do think that that's the proper reaction. I'm sitting here doing my music, writing my shit out, and you're sitting there in Bulgaria trying to get onto my computer. Fuck you. You deserve a lightning bolt on your system. That's really what you deserve, is to not be able to use your computer anymore ever, and probably your fingers either. I'm sorry. If I could push that button and just have your computer explode, that would be ideal. As it is, I don't want to get into a hacking fight. Nobody really does. I mean, the idea behind pushing that button and having that person explode isn't with some sort of retribution. It's not like I'm seeking vengeance or punishment. It's just that I don't want to deal with this. I don't think you should exist. And if I can take steps to prevent you from existing, then I'm doing a service to the world. And I'm entirely serious when I say that. That's I have no idea who you are. You have no motive to harm me. If you're going to carry out that kind of brazenly antisocial behavior, I mean, you don't. You probably think I'm a millionaire and I live in a mansion because I'm from Canada, right? And that kind of ignorance, it's if you can figure out how to send me an attack from Bulgaria, but you can't figure out that I might be living on disability, then you should just cease to exist. I'm sorry. You're clearly not dealing with an actual disability. There's nothing blocking you from coming to that conclusion. You're just an asshole, and that's that to me, that's the proper outcome for somebody of your type. In my ideal kind of society, that is what would happen. Is that we wouldn't be concerned about your rights as an individual. We would just eliminate you. You would be And the funny thing is, a lot of people they might think that they're anarchists, and they think that the society will support them. See, that's the funny thing. In a true anarchist society, what we would really be doing is we would be removing the restrictions that we place upon ourselves to annihilate you. And you might be walking around thinking that you're all free and and emancipated and everything. And if you had your way, everybody. No. If we actually could get to the point where we could actually have anarchist social consciousness, you would be the first to go. We would band together in a collective, in a society. We would get together and we would all decide unanimously that you should be removed from existing. And that very well may mean getting tied to a fence and electrocuted, and that would be the end of you. You would just be, you would just no longer exist. That's what would actually happen to all of you, to all of you Sex Pistols anarchists, to you punk rock anarchists, the ones that picked up your ideals from a record sleeve, that have never seriously read anything in your life outside of the back of a cereal box. All of you people out there who think that you're, at the front of some kind of vanguard. Not all of you. There's a lot of you that are pretty cool. But the ones that are cool know about the ones that I'm talking about. These nihilist nutters that think that they can have this world where everyone just fucks everybody else over and no one gives a fuck. No. If you took down this system that protects you for being an asshole. See, the only reason that society allows you to behave the way the only thing that's protecting you from extreme consequence is the fact that society has erected a statist apparatus that protects you from consequence. And if that apparatus collapses, then all of a sudden you are at the whim of masses that want you destroyed. Okay? Because, and that is what would happen, is that your Law and Order, neighborhood watch, housewife, becomes the anarchist. And when she becomes the anarchist, you become the victim. And I'm not going to shed a tear for you, because you're an asshole. And I ultimately, if I could convince, the neighborhood watch mother to become an anarchist, I think we would probably actually get along fairly well. And we would probably work together to carry out our goals, which would include, things like distributive justice and the absolute annihilation of complete assholes such as yourself. So yeah, that's I've gotten a little bit off topic. I was talking about these people that are like I say, just don't check it. I can't tell. You check your router's log, and like I say, it's going to be full of stuff that you don't want to see. Within minutes or seconds of connecting to the internet, you're gonna get pinged by some douchebag somewhere, and there's really not a lot you can do about it. So, what I didn't, when I turned my router off, the log cleared, so I cannot check to see what I was getting from before. Like I say, I'm gonna make this change. And the change is that instead of taking information directly from the Facebook page to the Word document, I'm going to transfer it to plain text first. And if making that change results in the same problem, well, then I'll go and I'll check my file. And in fact, I may check my file over the next, that is my log file, over a couple of times over the next 48 hours to see if I can find something that looks like it might be guilty. But bottom line is that you simply cannot. I mean, just by turning you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna see all kinds of 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 activity. You don't want to see it, but it doesn't mean anything, broadly speaking. I was talking about this. And my battery's going to go on me soon, so I'm actually going to go ahead and stop it and restart it. So I was talking about this cheesy and sour combination, and the history of this. So the history of this came about close to 20 years ago, 15 anyways, where my stepmother would take runs down to the local price club, and she would come back with these, you know, like you go to the price club, you don't get a bag of Doritos, you get like a carton of Doritos, right? So which is like 20 bags of Doritos. That's just how the system works, right? So she would do that every once in a while, and I would I would walk downstairs and I would look over into my little munchie spot, and I mean I didn't get along well with my stepmother, but I do have to at least give her, thank her for ensuring that there were always munchies in my spot, especially when I came home stoned. It was always very nice. So it was always nice to have the munchies there. You come home once in a while and there'd be like 30 bags of Doritos and like 30 bags of salt and vinegar chips, which is, like you want to just get up and hop into it, right? You can dive right into it kind of thing. As you can see, I've got a little bit more energy. I'm, diving around here. Actually, maybe you can't even see that. Okay, so I am going to dive at this moment, and can we experience the dive on the camera? I think I'm so, my arms are so, up and down all the time, you probably couldn't even tell the difference. Let's try it again. I don't see a difference looking in. We'll see later when I get it up. I actually have never been diagnosed with ADD. I never have been. I promise. I probably should have been though. Anyways, so I got Doritos, I got salt and vinegar chips, and I know that there's bowls around, so I do the logical thing, and it's delicious. And I do this over and over again, and my friends start noticing, every time I come over here, Jay, there's a giant bag of Doritos and salt and vinegar chips, and together they're really good, and I get compliments and I get requests, and it becomes a thing, right? So, and truth is, I do still do it. I tend to not buy potato chips though anymore. You'll notice that there's plenty of junk in the vlog, but I don't think I've had a single bag of actual potato chips because it's just starch. If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get corn chips or I don't even know what like some kind of congealed fat. Somebody on the vlog mentioned it was a cholesterol supplement. I actually doubt that that's true, although I didn't challenge them then. I think that I think that what he claimed is actually a cholesterol reducing medication. What do you call it? Ol something. It's not all this, anyways. That doesn't mean a whole lot. It could be something else. But I think he was talking about actually like a cholesterol reducing medication, and I don't think that they actually put that in there, unless maybe you get you get special chips at the old folks store at the drugstore. I think that the poster was just totally fucking wrong. But anyway, that does get me through the chips, so I can throw those out in the next couple of days. So that's going to go up in my culinary sequence, with or without commentary. I think probably with. I think I'm in the point where the nicotine is gone, so that kind of nulling aspect of the background nicotine has lifted, and I am actually now experiencing entirely the effects of the coffee. as the coffee. So I think I'm a little bit delirious tonight because of the coffee. Although I must also point out that I have increased my estrogen boost, and this is the kind of thing. This is the kind of result. If you're sitting around wondering, what's it like to be on estrogen? You know, what's what's the buzz? What kind of buzz does estrogen give you? Um, I suppose that's your answer. Is to watch my vlogs. Um, this is just what happens when you change your hormone combinations, and this does happen. It happened a few years ago when I switched from natural to synthetic progesterone. It happens pretty bad when you first go on them. You just kind of you get mood swings. So right now you're getting the giddy happy side of it. Last night I was frustrated and angry and I wanted to blow something up. So quitting smoking and increasing estrogen at the same time is fairly combustive in an emotional sense, I must actually admit. Maybe I didn't really think about that through so much. I mean, I wanted to quit smoking first because of the blood clot issues, but in fact, the two things combined are enough to really create an emotional tinderbox. Um, it didn't work out that way, or it hasn't yet. I'm just kind of giggly. I know that when I did switch my progesterone, I didn't. I got some happy days, some silliness. I didn't get any hardcore. I didn't get any of the trows. I got the highs, but none of the trows, troughs, trugs, trogs. How does one pronounce these funny words? It's like knigget. And with that, I will run away. This is some more sock fuzz. It appears to actually come out of my sweater. I wonder, I mean, it's cotton. I should be able to compost this, right? We'll let it biodegrade in the landfill. So that's another little bit of garbage there. Not much so far, but it's growing. Again, these containers of chips are now garbage. I'll take them out of here in the next few days, but they're not going in there. That is a sticker from a tomato, and it's also going in there. So I use a lot of stickers. I gotta keep track of every piece of garbage that goes in there, so there's gonna be a lot of overlap. Okay, so I'm gonna do the tomato sandwich part of this. I can say I did this once before, but I didn't split it off, and I kind of forgot about it. So, there's two bagel-based meals that I have for most of the week. I do have eggs Sunday and Thursday, so I'll have eggs again tomorrow. I missed the salami from yesterday, but I'll get to it. So the two bagel-based meals I have are the tomato and the salami, and I alternate them in between the eggs. I've cut the tomato, I've cut the top off, and it's really just as simple as it looks. I'm going to slice the tomato, I'm going to cut the bagel and toast it, and then I'm going to chop up my cheese, and I'm also going to put some mayonnaise on it. So I'll be back in a few minutes once I've got all those pieces put together. And I opened up a new container of cheese today, so a new package of cheese. So this little bit comes up from the top. That doesn't actually always happen when you open cheese. Sometimes you take more. It just sometimes you don't take any at all. It just depends, right? Today it was just a little bit off the top. That's all I needed. Okay, I'm sure you heard actually the toast pop up there as I was throwing my little thing aside. So I went ahead and I put some mayo on it. I like healthy servings of mayo, but I'll say it again, I don't eat often. So I may have these high-fat meals, and I may be having some doctors freak out, but this is all I'm eating today. Well, not today. Today I'm also going to have some chips, but most days that would be all I'm eating.
a bagel, a tomato, some cheese, and some mayo. Okay? Generally, people that are concerned about that much mayo, they're concerned because that like this is breakfast, right? And then they have 3 times that for supper, right? No, no, no. This is my entire meal for the entire day. Um, so it's really not much, is it? When you think about it like that. What I do is really pretty quite simple. Just throw this on here like this. And if I remember correctly, and my memory is again pretty good, but it's not perfect. The reason I'm doing the reason I didn't upload it last time was because I wanted to actually get this. So I put the mayo down. You put the cheese down, and you just want to make sure that you're actually covering the entire bagel. Again, I know that certain people are gonna say, "Geez, what are you doing? Are you trying to clog your arteries?" But like, your body needs fat, and you have to give it this. It needs this. You crave this because you need it. You just don't want to go overboard. And again, that's all I'm eating all day. So, or besides the chips, it would normally be all I'm eating all day. If you want to get mad at me, get mad at me for eating chips. Don't get mad at me for this. So then I take the tomatoes and I layer them over top like this. And as before, the idea is just to fill the bagel. Now, you can imagine that because that's what I'm doing, you want to choose your tomatoes so that they are roughly the right size. I've developed a good eye for this, and as you can see, I got it just about right. Meaning that the size of the tomato that you saw was just about right. You want to make it so that it, how can I put this? If you can imagine your bagel, and bagels vary in size. You've got these are relatively large bagels. There's sesame seed. I'm sure you saw it, but I'm also sure that you saw these aren't little sandwich bagels. They're more like big breakfast bagels, right? And I'm using them like this. So you want to imagine if you had your bagel, if you took your tomato, and it is big enough that it fits in the hole. So you don't want it to go through the hole, but you want it to sit in the hole. If you don't want it too big either. This is kind of the problem with when you get other types of tomatoes. You can make them so that they're too big. And then you're using a half a tomato when you're putting it in the fridge, and it's an unnecessary distraction from the tomatoey goodness. Normally I would wash my hands a little bit in between, but I've got my hand here. So the last step is the hot sauce. Now, I've been noticing since I stopped smoking that the hot sauce is actually fairly vinegary. You notice that less when you're smoking. I guess it's the part of your taste bud that disappears. Maybe the Franks might be a little bit too sour for a lot of people. And in fact, it might be becoming a little bit too sour for me, which is a big change. I've been eating that stuff since I was 10 years old. And if you're curious, no, it didn't put hair on my chest. I have never grown a single hair on my chest in my life. Ever. And I'm glad about that. So anyways, there's that gives it the extra zing that what it really does is it brings the tomato out. But like I say, I'm contemplating maybe moving to more of a chili-based sauce. or just a less vinegary based sauce. I don't know if they even maybe they might have changed the recipe even. Um, Maybe if I could try looking at one of the other types of Franks, or moving to a cheaper brand. You pay for the name. Frank is raking it in there. He's got a good racket going on there. So on top of that, you just need some salt and pepper, and you want to make sure that you get quite a bit of it, because, as I believe I pointed out in my aborted run through, there is nothing in this world that is better than a tomato with salt and pepper on it. The salt is probably not it's probably not ionized at all, so it's probably not avoiding goiters, but it is something that your body does require. Once again, the amount of this is it's not even salt really. Well, I mean it's salt, but it's not like complete salt. It's celery salt, so it's like, does it say what the percentage is? It doesn't say what the percentage is, but it's like, well, if you base it on this, you'd guess it was about 30% salt, 30% celery powder, and 30% calcium. That's probably not accurate. It's probably more like 60% salt, 40 or 35% celery, and 5% calcium. But I mean, that's some combination of those three things. Point being that it's not as insane as it looked. And that's why I buy celery salt, so that I can just be like, you know, I don't want to worry about it. Just give me the salt and let me dump it. But I know that I'm not. It's not. It's like at least 40% celery. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. And that's I eat this. Well, it modulates, so it's twice 1 week, and three the next, and twice in 3. It'd be 5 in a 2-week period. So it's one of the 3 staples of my diet. The second being eggs, and the third being my salami sandwich, which is real simple and won't take long to do on Monday. I'll do another eggs recipe tomorrow, so it's something I'll come up on that as well. Although it won't be for a week, because you're a week behind me, because I don't want you stalking at me. I don't know who you are. Who the hell are you? I have no idea. You could be you could be living down the street and watching me when I go outside. Not every day anymore, because I haven't been outside. Actually, you know what? The last time I actually went outside was to get a pizza on the day before my birthday. Today is it is the okay. So it is about 1:30 in the morning on January the 17th, and I have not been outside since about 8 o'clock at night on January the 12th. So that's all day the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. It's about 4.5 days. I've not been outside at all. And before that, I hadn't been outside in like 3 days. So, that's, in all honesty, that's the reality. If I'm not smoking, I have no reason to go outside, and probably won't very often. Especially not when we got a few. See, I managed to stay in for the entire cold snap and the warm snap, and I'll probably be inside for the entire cold snap again. So that's when am I gonna have to go? I'm gonna have to go out on Thursday to get my pills redone. So I could conceivably be inside for 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I could be. I have every reason. Well, no, it's on. Yeah, recycle day is also Thursday, so I have every reason to believe I will be able to stay inside for 10 days. That's. I have done this. In fact, I did this last year when I quit smoking. So Um, now, don't you be discouraged. I said last year when I quit smoking, as though, what do you quit smoking every year, Jessica? Every single year? Um, most years actually, but I am serious this time. This is, I have to be, because I actually plan on living this year. It's been a few years since I could say that. Like, I have every intention of living the whole year. Um, I hope I didn't just jinx it, but that has not been true the last couple of years. I have not had any. I have had an intention to live most of the year, and if I wasn't going to make it through the year, it was going to have to be due to some extraneous circumstances. Um, but I can't say that I had every intention to live the whole year. Um, Not last year, certainly. Um, the year before I was iffy. The year before, I thought I'd make it through most of the year, but near the end of the year, I was yeah. So I'd have to go back to. Did I plan on living the whole year at the beginning of 2013? Um, I think I did. Um, I was kind of distracted by other things though as well. So, um, I think I was still in my existence is meaningless. Well, I mean, when you understand existence is meaningless, you don't ununderstand it. You don't forget an epiphany of that nature. You this that becomes your reality, and it's perpetual. But I was still kind of obsessing on it. Wouldn't have been until I moved down here well, when I moved down here, like I was able to reestablish like a purpose. I'd been working up to it for a few years. Um, After having, well, I don't really want to talk about this right now, but the point being that I did, I am actually starting this year with the intent, the full, absolute intent of living for the whole year. Um, the, there's no downfall that I can predict where I'm pretty sure that I will stop living. So um, I'm gonna quit smoking because I'm gonna keep living. This sounds very facile and absurd. Um, Often the most complex things do sound facile and absurd um, because you don't really understand them, and it's probably my fault because I'm rambling into a camera phone. Actually, it's not even a phone. Like this thing, it's not. Like, I can't even. I'm rambling into a $50 camera, um, and you can't even see me. So how would you possibly understand it? So there's no real option but for me to come off sounding facile and absurd. But mark my words that it has to be different this time because I'm here to live this year. Um, to get some stuff done. Um, well, I mean, I'm here to live this year. I need to take advantage of the time that I have left to properly plan for my death. For those curious about the juice infusion, I am about to start on jug number 2. Started the first one, I guess it would have been on the morning of the 13th. It would have been my birthday. So that's been, I guess, about 4 days. I'm looking at about a little more than 600 milliliters a day. which is, well, it's a little bit less than one of these. So, I guess actually not that much, is it? Okay. Um, I've developed a little bit of a soreness in my chest. It's not like it's not something I need to be worried about in terms of my heart or my lungs. Maybe my lungs a little bit. It's more like my sternum. I'm breathing fine, and it's not like I'm not having like heart pains or chest pains. It's more like um, the kind of thing that happens when you get a sore back. If you do too much exercise, it's more like that kind of thing. Um, Almost though as though it feels like my body's reacting to a shift in weight. I have to wonder if that has something to do with the estrogen boost, actually. Although I'm sure the cut in smoking has something to do with it as well. So, have I noticed physical changes? Like most female identifying people that don't have a nice blob of plastic on their chest protruding from their rib cages. My breast size goes up and down depending on various factors, including diet. So it's hard to say. It does. I'm definitely feeling some stress in the area, though. That's for sure. In the past, I hadn't really felt it there. So I hadn't really felt it. Let's make sure I get the right button here. What is that button? Right. Seems like I might have to turn the recorder off for that to work. No, that's my little swap, but it's not working. Okay. Now I should be able to see it on the front, but only if I start off that way, I guess. So that didn't work. But it's not normally, well, you can still see. So that's my chest there. I hope you can see it. So this is where this is where I am getting it, is up kind of up around here. Whereas one would normally get that kind of pain in your back, on your neck, kind of thing. So it's certainly different. The fact that I mean, I think it is maybe a little bit related to my lungs, and maybe if anything, my lungs clearing out. I don't know. I know that it's noticeable. I don't think it's going to kill me. I hope not. I did mention that I plan on living this year, and I hope I didn't jinx it. But I mean, it's definitely there, and I think that the best way to deal with that is to sleep it off. So I do still have a reason to be in bed for a bit. How much longer? I don't know. If anything, it's been getting a little bit worse. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, and I will go from here. But it's something worth noting, anyways. I mean, I suppose if I do fall over as a result of a massive coronary attack, then there's some evidence that I saw it coming, but it's not. I don't think it's that. I think it's more of a structural issue with my bones and the amount of weight being carried in that region. But we'll find it. Actually, just an update on that. I put a bra on, and it seems to have helped. I do wear bras fairly frequently. if I go out. Um, but I don't ever wear them in the house unless it's just like hanging over from um, when I went out. I haven't really needed one. So I mean, when I wear them, it's more like a fashion issue than a functional issue. It did sort of make an immediate noticeable difference. I'll see. I don't know. Who knows how much of that's psychological and how much of it's actual real. We'll see as I go. But yeah, that's I've never really had to wear a bra in order, like for back issues or chest issues up to this point. Maybe that's something that just changed. Like I say, it's a double whammy. I both boosted the estrogen and I quit smoking at the same time. So that's a significant change in my body chemistry. Um, and like I say, there's some growth, but it goes up and down. So who knows if it's the start of permanent growth. That is certainly an aspect of my transition that was kind of lagging. Um, but I mean, I'm so thin that, and I'm a late transition too. So the effect that the hormones will have on your secondary sex characteristics is inversely proportional to the age in which you start them. So if you start hormones at 17, then you will probably grow a pair of breasts that is comparable to the size of the breast that you would have grown had you been born with the right hormones in the first place. If you start them at 30, like I did, then the end result is like you might expect half to a third of the same outcome, right? So I knew that walking into this. I mean, my breast size isn't exactly the most important part of this. I know that for a lot of people going through this, it is really fundamental. I don't know. I think they need to question their priorities. Like, why not just get some silicone, like, uh, like latch-ons? Like if all you want is a pair of tits, it's not quite. That's not quite what this is about, right? That said, I mean, there's an aspect to it, right? I mean, you wanna. It does help in terms of how you're interpreted. But I mean, for me, I don't. I was never really planning on walking around and plunging low cut tops in the first place. Although I actually ended up doing that. But like it's not like I'm gonna wear t-shirts and jeans anyways. So I mean, like, I'm not obsessed with ensuring that I have huge breasts. It's, if anything, I would think that my personality type and body type is more conducive to the expectations of a small-breasted woman. And there are certainly lots of small-breasted women. That's nothing to be embarrassed or shamed or upset about, or any lesser aspirations to become. But the hormones will do what they will do, and if I need to be wearing a bra, then I need to be wearing a bra. We'll see in the next couple of hours if that's actually what the issue was, and if that's a solution to it or not.